It's senior night at Fairland High School, and that means tonight a matchup on the line for bragging rights as the Fairland Dragons host the Chesapeake Panthers in the final game of the regular season of the Ohio Valley Conference. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Correa along with Jason Stevens, and glad you could join us. And tonight, Jason, we got an interesting matchup because a little bit at stake here for Fairland, but especially bragging rights for one of these two teams.
You know, the biggest thing at stake is always bragging rights when these two teams play. Just a few miles separate the two schools. Parents have gone to one school and their kid goes to the other and vice versa. So it's always exciting when purple and green get together on the field. Although I think by the end of this game, everybody will have a little brown on their on their uniform after the rain we had yesterday. The field looks in pretty good shape, but footing and traction could be an issue tonight.
Chesapeake will receive the opening kickoff, and we are underway. And a squib kick to start it off and recovered at the 49. Luke Shields falls on it there, and that's where the Panthers will start 1st and 10.
The Panthers have some dangerous return men, and
one thing we will see is a contrasting style of offense, because I know that Fairland likes to spread it out a little bit, throw the football occasionally, whereas Chesapeake, they got a lot of speedy running backs, like to keep the ball on the ground.
They do, and Chesapeake's offense is based on deception and speed.
Hand off to Will Todd along left tackle, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
That was Ryder Sloan on the tackle. Will Todd, a senior.
Fairland comes into the game with a record of 5-4 with their playoff hopes still dimly alive, and they really need a win tonight. Otherwise, those hopes get dashed. Chesapeake lost their opportunity last week with a loss against Rock Hill. But tonight it's 2nd and 10 right here, and the handoff straight up the middle and pushing the pile forward. And the ball comes loose, but the referee said the ball was down, so it will be there, and it's going to be 3rd and short now for the Panthers as they move into Fairland territory.
Kobe Newman on the tackle.
They mark it down at the 44-yard line, so that's going to make it 3rd and about 3.
Big play here for both sides as they start the game.
Hand off to Harless as he goes off left tackle, and he is going to be very close. Depends on the spot here, but looks as though he got the first down.
Blaine Cremines, number 26 there on the tackle. I've got a few cousins on the Fairland team. Blaine's one of them.
You've got connections, I think, all the way around both of these teams.
Yeah.
Cameron Harless over 1,000 yards rushing, but it's 4th and 1, so they do line up to go for it. And they do look to have enough for the first down as they get up to the 40-yard line. They'll make it by a yard, and that will move the chain. So it's a new set of downs for the Panthers.
It just barely made it. It looked like Cameron was going to have plenty of room to run, and then the hole closed up quickly, but not before the first down.
So Harless just over 1,000 yards. Will Todd just at 935, so he is approaching the 1,000-yard mark as well for the Panthers, and they set up with 1st and 10 now at the Fairland 40. Right side, Todd with the carry. Gets maybe, actually, not a bad gain there. Gets about 6 yards on the carry.
Tevin Taylor out there on the cornerback with the tackle. Nice gain on first down.
So I think you mentioned to me you had coached a few of these players.
Oh, yeah.
In your younger days.
Yeah, back in Buddy League basketball.
That's Harless again, lowering his head, getting past the 30, and that's going to be good enough for another Chesapeake first down as they get inside the Fairland 30 to the 29.
Yep. Back in the day, Donald Richendaler, the quarterback, Cameron Harless, Will Todd, and one of the linemen, JT Henry, were all on the same Buddy League basketball team that I coached. So it's fun to watch them grow and play out here on Friday nights.
Sweep, and he cuts back inside, has a nice gain, and again, close to another first down, maybe a yard short.
The Panthers
nice pickup there by Harless.
Yeah, Panthers have been working the left side of the offense there. And that time Harless found a seam, was able to bust it for a nice, almost a 10-yard gain, 9.5 yards.
2nd and 1 now. Handoff to Carson Nida, looked like on the carry there. And I believe he's going to have enough for another first down. So Panthers continue to move the chains and work the ball downfield. 8:36 to go here in the first quarter. First down at the 18. Pyle moves inside the 15 down to about the 13.
I'll tell you what I've noticed, Brian, is here in the last 2 or 3 plays, the Chesapeake line has dominated the line of scrimmage. At the first of this drive, it was about even, but the last few plays, there's been a good surge from Chesapeake. Fairland's got to see what they can do to stop it.
Richendaler keeps it, finds a hole. He's going to take it all the way in for the Chesapeake touchdown. Donald Richendaler with the touchdown. And the Panthers get on the board first with 7:52 to go. That's
the first time Richendaler's kept the ball that drive and made a nice fake. Again, like we said at the opening, the Chesapeake offense is based on deception and speed, and you saw a little bit of both there.
So the Panthers take it 51 yards down the field with the opening kickoff. Brady Wilson in to attempt the extra point. He's got it. So 7:52 to go here in the opening quarter. Chesapeake now leads it 7-0. So an impressive opening drive there for Chesapeake. Has kept the ball on the ground the entire time. No passes at all, but that's been their strength, is keeping the ball on the ground. They've got some speedy running backs, and they've been able, like you said, the offensive line was pretty dominant there.
The Panthers struggled the first. There we go. There we see Richendaler with the touchdown, but they struggled the first series of downs, had to go for it on 4th, but then after they got that first down, seemed to march right on down the field for the opening score. Chesapeake has played pretty well with the lead this season. It's when they get behind seems to be a challenge for them, but I'd say you'll see the Dragons try to answer right here. One of the things I wanted to mention about Chesapeake senior kicker Brady Wilson, he's a soccer player, and but I think he enjoys playing football. He's had an excellent season, has a big leg, and will kick this back there. Who is that? That's Gavin Hunt, the speedy number 7 for the Dragons. Another cousin, by the way, on the other side of the family.
You have to figure out a way to merge purple and green somehow.
Yeah. It kind of clashes, though, Brian.
That takes it at the 5-yard line now, straight back up the middle, finds a seam, finds a big one too, and he is off to the races. Gavin Hunt with one man to beat Richendaler, runs him down and knocks him out of bounds at about the 25-yard line, but a big run back there by Gavin Hunt. That puts Fairland in great field position as they start their first set of downs.
Hunt took the kickoff there and didn't look either direction, just straight ahead and took off. Put it deep. Here we go. Ball was caught about the 5-yard line, so Wilson almost outkicked the coverage there. And the Dragons will start first down 10 deep inside the Panther territory.
So our first look at the Fairland offense as the handoff goes to Michael Stitt. Stitt cuts back across the grain, and now he's met with about a half dozen Chesapeake tacklers. They bring him down. He gets maybe a yard or two on the carry. He really worked to earn that one for sure.
Looked like Stitt was going to go down for a loss, but he just kind of bounced around like a little mosquito back there and was able to gain a couple of yards.
Stitt with over 800 yards rushing on the season, having a very good year. And penalty flag, it's our first penalty of the ball game. Offside on Chesapeake. So it's now 2nd down and 4. Got to put the ball down at about the 21-yard line. Seven minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Chesapeake with a 7-0 lead. Stitt once again straight up the middle, gets inside the 20 to the 18. Might be just short of the 1st down marker.
Alec DeMint on the tackle there. Got a hold of Stitt's britches. Brings up a short third and a short 1 if it's even quite a yard. See what the Dragons do in this situation in 4-down territory, no doubt.
So 3rd and 1. Max Ward calling the signals for Fairland. Hands it off to J.D. Brumfield. He's going to have the 1st down and then a little bit more as he gets down close to the 10-yard line.
Number 12, Thomas Sentz, and number 32, Marcus Burnside in on the tackle. Starting to see a little chippiness starting to develop out there. A little bit after the play, the referees will probably let them play a little bit, it's being a rivalry game, but we'll have to watch some of these little extracurricular activity might have an impact.
So 1st and 10 at the 11. Pass play off to the corner of the end zone, a little bit too strong and out of the reach. Max Ward on the throw, and didn't see who his intended receiver was there.
That was number 7, Gavin Hunt.
He looked like he got one hand on the ball, but that was about all he could get.
It was just a little bit strong, but he threw it in a way that only his man could catch it.
Second and 10. Stitt with the handoff now, coming left side, evades a tackler, but he is dragged down there by Will Todd.
Stitt tried to put the stiff arm out there, but Todd just kept on coming.
So that moves the ball back to the 14-yard line, a loss of 3 on the play.
A couple other Panthers got in on that tackle too.
So big 3rd down play right here. Ward now rolling right, looking downfield, and the ball in the air, overthrown.
Broken up.
Almost intercepted there, but incomplete, so that's going to bring up a 4th down now at about 12.
Levi Best on the breakup of that pass. Bring up 4th and long for the Dragons. Ball's there at the 14-yard line, so they need 13 yards for the 1st down and 14 yards to get it in the end zone.
We've already seen that the different style of the offenses now with the way both teams have taken the ball down the field on their first possession. And again, Fairland spreading the field now. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and we now have a timeout.
The play clock was winding down quickly. It was about 2 seconds. And the Dragons hadn't quite set themselves, so pretty good ball game so far.
So Fairland's had a nice drive of their own here with their first possession, but they did have a good place to start from with that kickoff return by Gavin Hunt. So once again, Fairland in a position, if they were to win this game tonight, I don't think it guarantees a playoff spot, but it does put them in a position to where they could receive a playoff position. Chesapeake playing for pride at this point. A win for the Panthers would put them at 500 and end their season on a positive note as well. Everybody likes to end on a win at the end of the year, go into the offseason with a win and a positive outlook on the upcoming year.
And, you know, this particular ball game, it really doesn't matter what the records are or what's on the line because, you know, these kids have played against each other since they were
This is always a great time to have this kind of game.
Oh, yeah, and I love it that it's the last game of the season, too. It makes it something to look forward to all year.
So 4th and 12. Max Ward takes the snap. He's looking downfield, gets it out in the flat. It's caught by Hunt. He cuts back, and he is met and going to be short of the first down, well short of the first down, as he's tackled at the 7-yard line, and Chesapeake holds, and they'll take over there at the 7.
Boy, I thought Gavin was going to be able to break that one loose, but it looked like number 7 for Chesapeake, Levi Best, with the tackle. And the Panthers defense holds right there. Let's see, here's the replay. See, Hunt tries to cut it back across the grain. No, that was Thomas Sentz. That was number 12. My bad. Big tackle. And
so 4:56 to go here in the opening quarter. The Panthers have it back, and they are swarmed under there at the line of scrimmage, and actually loss of a couple of yards there.
There's
back
the
to
flag.
the 5. And a penalty flag there at the end of the play. This is, like you said, things are getting a little bit chippy there on the field. Probably a lot of talking going on, I'm sure. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on both teams, it looks as though, and it's going to offset.
okay, both of those fellas not even close to the play. Had a little extracurricular activity there.
So the ball now back at the 5-yard line. It is 2nd and 12 now. Clock running with 4:35 to go here in the first.
A crucial series here for both teams. If the Dragons can hold, they can put the Panthers in trouble.
Todd with the carry off to the left side, and he gets maybe a yard on the play, but he is swarmed by a whole gang of Fairland tacklers.
Looked like a little bit of a busted play there.
So now it's 3rd and long.
You have to wonder if Chesapeake will throw the ball here. It's long, 3rd and long, but they're on the wrong end of the field to make a mistake. They don't throw the ball very often when they do.
They only threw it about 3 times last week against Rock Hill. We got penalty flags all over the field now, and motion on Chesapeake. That'll back them up. So it'd go half the distance to the goal. Back to about the 2.5 yard line. So now it is 3rd and about 14 to go.
Well, that made the situation a little even more dire for Chesapeake, as they've got to at least get it out a little bit so they can give their punters some room to try to switch the field.
Richendaler just keeps it, comes around right in and cuts back up, has some room. He gets across the 20, and he has a 1st down.
That was just a straight out run to the open side of the field, and Richendaler was just faster than everybody else and was able to get the corner and turn it up for the 1st down. Richendaler's a junior. 2 years ago on this field, he got a start as a freshman and played a very good game here in the Chesapeake Fairland ball game. So he's had success on this field before. So
it's a missed opportunity for Fairland there to pin them deep in their own territory, to run up to about the 24-yard line. Looks like Will Todd on the carry.
Number 6, Jordan Williams, in there on the tackle there. But the Panthers still got about 4 yards on that 1st down.
So 3 yards on the carry to the 24, so it's going to be 2nd and 7.
Got a flag.
We got motion once again on Chesapeake.
You know, Brian, both teams have had there just in the last few minutes a 3rd down and long. The Dragons weren't able to convert, and then the Panthers did convert on their 3rd down long.
It's the second motion penalty that Chesapeake has had on this particular drive. Second and 11. Looks like Todd on the carry, and he is carrying the pile with him. But actually went sideways there. He only picked up maybe a couple of yards there, but that was a tough couple of yards to pick up.
Looked like Jordan Wellman, number 54, in on the tackle. Here's another big 3rd and long.
Under 2 minutes to play in the quarter.
Panthers spread it out.
Richendaler now under heavy rush, and he is going to be taken down back near the 10-yard line.
J.D. Brumfield on the sack. Looks like Richendaler was trying to do a misdirection and then slipped on the wet grass. And the Dragons hold.
So Fairland, after giving up the big 3rd down play back at the 2-yard line, defense stiffens, they hold. They're going to get the ball back now with 1:10 to go in the clock running, and back to punt Chesapeake, and back deep is Gavin Hunt for Fairland, and we've got a timeout by the Panthers. This is their first. And the clock will stop at 1:05 to go in the quarter.
Panthers didn't look like they had everybody on the field, or something wasn't quite right with their alignment on the punt team, so Coach Knipp calls a timeout. Here's the replay. See if we can see the footing there. Nope, he didn't really slip. He just didn't see Brumfield coming up through the gap. A big play. Another sophomore from Fairland.
So it's senior night here at Fairland High School, and they had a ceremony before the game honoring the seniors, of which there are several here on the roster.
Got a cool night tonight, no rain, a little damp. I don't know how.
It was about cold. 44 degrees at
44,
kickoff.
That's good hot chocolate weather.
It'd be a little bit colder than that, I think, by the time we hit the second half.
Yes. See if the Dragons try to get a return to Buff.
Punt
on the punt.
Oh, it's going to be the kick is squibbed, and a bad kick, but a big break for the Fairland Dragons as they're going to get the ball at the 10-yard line. The snap didn't look like it got to the punter, and then as he tried to pick it up, the only thing he could do was to try to recover it and get it out of there. And it looked like it may have been partially blocked.
Yeah, it had a bad snap there to the left, and for Wilson to even get his foot on it was pretty good, but that was, didn't know how that play was going to end up. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to talk over you there, Brian. But
so 56 seconds to go. Let's see now if Fairland can capitalize. This is the break that they needed. So now we had so they got a penalty on that. They moved the ball down. I didn't see what the penalty was. They moved it down to about the 6-yard line.
Okay.
So it looks like it's the 1st and goal. Stitt met at the line of scrimmage and hit hard there.
Justice Hutchison, number 44, looked like number 20, Luke Shields.
Yeah, Hutchinson, he met him head on right there, and just like running into a brick wall.
That was a hit now.
So no gain on the play. We're down to the final 30 seconds of the quarter. The Fairland spreading it out. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Stitt, the lone back in the backfield.
Blitz.
Ward now gets it out of there to Stitt. He's got a little room. He cuts back into the end zone for the Fairland touchdown. Nice move by Michael Stitt to get into the end zone, and Fairland will have a chance to tie it up here.
Max Ward with the excellent read, picked up the blitz, found his open receiver. Stitt with the little juke there at the end and runs right into the end zone. Now on to kick for Fairland is number 1.
This is Emma Marshall for the extra point, and the snap goes to Hunt. It was a high snap. He's going to throw it, and he's got his man out there for the extra point attempt, and it's going to be good. I don't know if that was a design play.
That looked like it was. That looked like a design play. That was
first
an awfully.
It did look like it.
It was an awfully high snap. It looks like we got a flag down on the play. Let's see what's happening. They waved off the flag, so the two-point conversion is good.
So Fairland gets the two-point conversion, and they take the lead 8-7. 14.7 seconds left, and here we're going to see that. We're going to see that touchdown again. I believe it is.
You can see Chesapeake with the blitz. Max Ward took a hit on that one, and steps into the end zone. Well, that was a big two-point conversion for the Dragons. Thought we were going to talk about Emma Marshall, the Fairland kicker. She's a junior and has been kicking for the Dragons all season, so say we'll get to see her kick eventually through the night. Here's the play. You can see Kazee kind of breaks to that back corner of the end zone. Didn't have anybody close enough to break it up. So here we go. Let's see what the Dragons do on this kickoff.
So the final 14 seconds of the quarter. Another squib kick. And taken there by Chesapeake. That looks like, I'm not sure who that was on the.
Sense.
Thomas Sense.
Yes.
So he gets it back to the 46-yard line, actually the 45. So Chesapeake will probably have one play here, which will take us to the end of the quarter.
It's twice the Dragons have kicked off short. Didn't really look like an onside kick, either one. It just was to keep it away from the dangerous returners.
However, it does give Chesapeake really good field position as they start their possession here. Harless gets the handoff, goes left side, gets outside for a couple of yards. He's drugged down at about the 47, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So after one quarter of play on senior night here at Fairland High School, Fairland Dragons 8 and the Chesapeake Panthers 7. We'll be back in just a moment. Back for the start of the second quarter, and Chesapeake now with a 2nd and 8. Handoff right side to Will Todd, pushing the pile across the Fairland 45. That's going to be enough for a first down as they mark it down at about the 44. It's one of the things about this Chesapeake running game is all three, with Richendaler at quarterback and Todd and Harless, any one of them can break a run at any time. And Harless now takes the handoff, comes back across the middle, and he gets down to around the 40, and that's going to get him probably, we're going to mark it to see where they put it at the 40. It's going to make it 3rd and 6.
Harless there behind big number 77, Dakota Hess. 6'1", 365 pounds on the roster.
Todd again lowering his head, getting down close to the 35, and he's going to be just short of the first down. So it's going to bring up a 4th down. No, to bring up 3rd down. That was 2nd down, so my mistake there. 3rd down and short, about 1 to go.
Panthers kind of alternating which side of the field they go on.
Harless leans forward, and it's going to be very close to it. Looks like he does have the first down. Motioning the chains forward, so a new set of downs for the Panthers as they put it down at the 33. Chesapeake's been very effective so far in running the football. They had a nice drive in the first quarter, but they have been able to move the ball. Todd churns for a couple of more yards, gets about 3.
I tell you what, Brian, you look at it, and it looks like he's not gaining that far, but the Chesapeake line is getting that first yard or 2. They're just moving the line of scrimmage with the snap of the ball. They're really getting a good surge there on this particular drive. Oh, he's open.
Richendaler looking downfield, has a receiver. It's caught into the end zone for the Chesapeake touchdown. That's Thomas Sentz on the reception. Nice play by Richendaler. Nice fake, and he had a good throw down there to Sentz, and he pulls it in for the Panther touchdown, and they have the lead back now at 13-8.
No flags on the play. Richendaler rolled out like he was going to run like he has 2 or 3 times before. Sentz had about an 8-yard lead, and Richendaler put it out there for him to grab.
Brady Wilson on for the extra point attempt. And he boots it through, so it's a 14-8 lead now for Chesapeake at 9:54 to go here in the first half. Here's the pass.
Sentz able to concentrate on it there and break away from Riley Sowards. The Dragons had been selling out on the run. And, you look at that play, as it talked about speed and deception. The Panthers kind of lulled the Dragons to sleep by running and running and running. And the one time they rolled out to actually pass it, were able to complete it. And the Dragons with the looked like the fake extra point that went for 2 made the difference. So we got a ball game, 14-8.
That's a perfect throw there by Richendaler. Dropped it right in there over the defender. So that Chesapeake, another thing is that with those short kickoffs, it's putting them in field position to where they really don't have to work the field as far.
Right, and they scored a touchdown on both of those situations. The only time they didn't score was when they got the ball deep in their own territory. Now let's see, Gavin Hunt is back again, and he had the big run back the last time, so see how the Panthers deal with him.
So Brady Wilson to kick off for Chesapeake. Kick falls short and almost recovered by Chesapeake. That was a little bit dangerous there.
That was the freshman Steeler Leap over there with the return. Didn't really return it, but got on it just barely. Almost let it bounce and lay there too long. That ball checked up nice.
Well, that's Nick Ferguson. About ran down there.
He just about ran right through
Caught it on the fly.
He sure did.
All right, so first down for Fairland. Now they have it at the 30-yard line. 9:52 to go until halftime. Ward steps up, gets it out to Stitt. Stitt misses a tackler now, going down the left sideline and tripped up. Goes down to midfield, but boy, he breaks that tackle. He pretty well could have been gone all the way.
I believe that was the same play they scored the touchdown on. They've run the same play 2 times in a row. The Dragon coach is seeing something, or Max Ward is making the read there as the quarterback. Stitt made some.
Play resumes. Stitt takes it up the middle inside Chesapeake territory now, down to the 48. Good gain, gets about 4 yards on that carry.
Michael Stitt been the workhorse for the Dragons, whereas the Panthers have kind of given it to different people. Stitt has touched the ball on almost every play.
So Fairland spreading it out again. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Stitt, the lone running back. And we've got some motion in the backfield that's going to back him up.
Didn't see exactly who moved, but it sure didn't look exactly right whenever the So that'll bring up a second down and 11. See what the Dragons call. I look for the screenplay again. That screenplay's been effective. Out of the backfield to Stitt.
8:20 to go, second quarter. Ward now of the shotgun takes it. Screen out to Stitt, a little bit overthrown.
There was a screenplay to the other side of the field that time.
It looked like Chesapeake was ready for it. They had it well defended, had he even caught the football.
It was a little bit of a dangerous pass, kind of floated up in the air. Tried to get it over the defender, but took just a little longer to get to the receiver and not able to complete it. So now the Dragons are looking at 3rd and long. So this is a big play here, possibly in 4-down territory, but does Fairland really want to give the ball back potentially to Chesapeake in such good field position?
Ward go upfield, Hunt with it, and is going to lateral off. That was an interesting play.
That will technically
Hunt made
be
the catch. Pitched it off to
a catch to Hunt.
Stitt. It's kind of that hook and ladder play.
Yeah, try to do the hook and ladder. It was the hook and fumble. Right off his face mask, and it gained an extra, 8 or 10 yards?
So it's a first down for Fairland. Hand off to Stitt. He weaves his way past the tacklers, gets up inside the 35, and nice gain there by Michael Stitt as he takes it down about 2 yards short of the first down. Inside of 8 minutes to go here in the half, and Fairland now on the move offensively, trying to get the lead back. Stitt now takes it, and he is gang tackled at the 30, but it looks like it will be enough for a first down.
I tell you what, the Panthers are a little stunned. Nobody really sure exactly what happened on that play, but that's what happens, you know. If there would have been a Chesapeake guy out there, that ball was a free ball, but it went out of bounds, so the Dragons maintain possession, and there's
penalty flags, and we've got offsides on Chesapeake. So a free 5 yards coming up for Fairland now. We'll move it up to the 25. So now they have a 1st and 5.
got to look for the Dragons to maybe take a shot here to the end zone on 1st and 5. Yep.
And off to Stitt. Goes through the middle. He's got a big hole all the way into the end zone for the Fairland touchdown. Michael Stitt shot through the middle of the line like a rocket into the end zone. 25 yards on the carry for the touchdown.
Well, the Dragons took a shot at the end zone. I thought they might try to pass it there, but The middle was wide open there, and he just ran right through it. Okay, so here's the exciting part. It's 14-14. Emma Marshall, the kicker, on. Let's see if the Dragons try another trick play or they try to go ahead and take the lead with the extra point.
Kick is up. It's through. And the Fairland Dragons have the lead now at 15-14 with 7:26 to go here in the second quarter. An impressive drive there by Fairland. Here's that touchdown play once again.
I don't think anybody hardly touched him until he got in the end zone. That was a flag football touchdown. Well, I tell you what, we've seen 3 short kickoffs, and it's led to 3 touchdowns, on the other side. So let's see, the Dragons have kicked off short twice to Chesapeake. That last time, the Panthers tried a pooch punt or a pooch kick on the kickoff, and Fairland marched it right down. So let's see what happens on this kickoff. Field position's really been a key for the both teams, and we got a 1-point ball game. This rivalry has been going on since the 1950s, maybe the late 40s, that Fairland and Chesapeake have played one another. And according to the Fairland Athletic Department, who's done some research there, Jeff Gorby, the Panthers lead 35-32 with 1 tie. So these games are always close.
Get a longer kick this time. Richendaler fields it back on a 15. Richendaler now cuts back, and he slips down at around the 34, and that's where the Panthers will start their new set of downs with 7:20 to go here in the quarter.
Looked like Riley Kazee was there to make sure that Donald didn't get much further, but yeah, the middle of that field will get slicker and slicker as the night goes on.
Harless with the carry, spins, pushes forward, and a nice run, enough for about 11 yards on that carry, all the way down to the 45.
Looks like Hess is wearing 78 tonight, and he's right there in the middle of it. Flag.
I think he pushed the pile
Yeah,
pretty much about the other 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, we got a flag on the play.
We got a penalty flag, and looks like that one's going to go against Chesapeake. It was at a holding call, I believe. It'll move it all the way back to the 34. Another costly penalty there for Chesapeake.
Panthers kind of dug themselves a hole with that penalty.
So 1st and 21. And we've
Another
got
flag.
motion again, so that's going to move it back again against Chesapeake. So Panthers kind of having some difficulty here on this possession.
Both teams appear to be pretty evenly matched. It's really going to, I think, boil down to who makes the least amount of mistakes as we go here through the end of this, well, halfway through the second quarter. But it doesn't look like one team is a lot faster or a lot stronger than the other, so it'll come down to execution.
Richendaler rolling right, tucks it down, keeps it, and he's hit just past the line of scrimmage. Gets to about the 27, so not much on that. So going to bring up 2nd down and long.
Jordan Williams on the tackle there. Williams hadn't brought him down. Richendaler had some real estate he could cover. The cowbells are out.
It's Harless on the carry.
freshman Steeler Leap on the tackle.
A couple of yards there. It's going to be 3rd and long, actually 3rd about 23.
Steeler with a nice tackle. Brings up a big 3rd down. Not in 4-down territory here, so the Panthers have to convert on this play or look to give the Dragons back the ball.
Richendaler hands it off to Harless. Coming back left side, and he's taken down on a nice defensive play there by Steeler Leap.
The last 2 plays, Steeler locked down that right side of the defense, and it's going to result in a punt that will give Fairland the ball back.
It was a nice open field tackle there.
It sure was. Kind of a Statue of Liberty there. Steeler was not faked out, and Nida goes down. Kyle Rankin was there to make sure.
So Gavin Hunt back on about his own 20-yard line. Nice kick. Takes a good bounce. Hunt picks it up. Cross
He's got
the
some
40,
room.
midfield. Misses a tackle. And preventing a touchdown was Cameron Harless. Otherwise, Gavin Hunt takes that thing all the way into the end zone.
The kicking game has been exciting today, Brian. It's been exciting. You never know. I was about ready to say that was a much less exciting punt than the last time, but turned out that the net yardage went to the Dragons' favor on that. Panthers would have been better off going for it on 4th down as far as the recovery there, but that was a great return by Hunt, and then Cameron Harless with the hustle to make the tackle. The Dragons
so 1st down at the 20 now.
Great field position.
Brumfield on the carry. Gets about 13 yards on that one down to the 7. It's going to be 1st and goal now for the Dragons. We've seen Stitt doing a lot of the work, but Brumfield gets the carry on this. Makes the most of it.
Fairland is starting to feel the momentum, tried to do the no-huddle offense. Looks like the Panthers are a little bit gassed. We've got about 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. This is a big turning point potentially in the game if the Dragons are able to punch it in here for the touchdown. It'll put the pressure on the Chesapeake offense, which usually is a running offense, and although they did throw for the 1 touchdown, they have a hard time coming back whenever you're running the ball all the time. So we haven't had a turnover yet in the game. We've had a couple of we had the couple of punts that have not turned out. They haven't been routine. I'll just say it that way. How's that?
Both these coaches have done a good job with their teams.
Oh, yes.
Melvin Cunningham and been with this team for a couple of years now.
You know what's great about having your rivalry game is the last game of the season. You know, nobody's mailing this game in. You know, these kids are out here giving everything they've got, and it's fun to watch.
Hand off to Brumfield. He breaks a tackle and gets into the end zone for the Fairland touchdown. J.D. Brumfield with the 13-yard carry to start it from the 20, and then finishing it off with the 7-yard run for the Fairland touchdown. And the lead is now 7, and Emma Marshall will come back on to attempt the extra point.
Brumfield just bounced off the tackler and just scampered right into the corner of the end zone for the – he made it look easy. It wasn't easy, but it made it look easy. So big touchdown there for the Dragons. All right, this is a big extra point.
Kick is up and through. 3:58 to go in the first half, and Fairland now is out to a 22-14 lead.
Still a one-score ball game. You know, it's a little cold outside, but you can feel the energy of the stadium is
You wondered how both these teams would respond to the weather, because the weather has been pretty good the last few weeks, and this is kind of the first week where we've really had a dip in the weather for a Friday night.
Right.
Here's
and this is the I think it's only the second game that Chesapeake has played on grass this season, so they have the artificial turf. Look at that. Oh. Bromfield with a nice run. All right, here we go. We're kicking off again. Let's see what kind of strategy will be utilized by the Dragons.
Richendaler and Todd back deep for Chesapeake, standing at about their own 15-yard line.
They kicked it a little deeper last time, and Fairland was able to stop Chesapeake and get the ball back. So,
a squib kick this time taken at the 40. That was, let's see who actually got hold of that one there.
Number 12, Thomas Sense.
Sense had caught the touchdown pass earlier, so
that was a rocket.
Good hands over there. So again, Chesapeake starting in good field position after the kickoff at their own 48-yard line, 3:54 to play. Todd gets the handoff, immediately drugged down, gets 2 yards on the carry.
Met there by Jordan Williams. You know, the last few plays, Williams has had the left side of the defense, and Leap has had the right side of the defense locked down for the Panthers. Or I'm sorry, for the Dragons against the Panthers.
Richendaler keeps it, looks downfield, overthrows his receiver Sense. That's similar to the play they ran earlier. They scored the touchdown on, but this time overthrew him just by a bit. It'll be 3rd and 8 now.
Number 21, Tevin Taylor, out there on the coverage, as Sense wasn't nearly as wide open as he was on the touchdown play. Richendaler threw it out there to where his man was the only one going to be able to get to that. Big 3rd down.
Richendaler in shotgun, takes a snap. Quick throw out to Sense.
Ooh.
Really nowhere to go on that one. He gets a couple of yards, but defended well there by Fairland, and it's now a 4th down. 3 minutes to go in the half, and it looks as though Chesapeake's going to stay on the field. Go for it. Well, maybe not. Looks like they're going to decide to
they're bringing the punt team back on.
I think they thought about it for a moment.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a fake punt right here. I don't know why. Wilson can run it.
High snap over the head of Wilson. Now he finally goes back, picks it up, but he is leveled back at around the 25-yard line. That was just out of the reach of Wilson.
Nothing good has happened for the Panthers on the 3 punt plays that they've had, and everything it's kind of switched the tide for the Dragons. You know, that's where the weather may be coming into play a little bit, is on these long snaps. And
Jordan Williams again there on the hit. And now Fairland with 2:30 to go has it the 25-yard line. Great field position, chance to tack some more on the board as Stitt takes it around right in, misses, dodges a tackler now, staying on his feet, cuts back, and Stitt's going to be in for the Fairland touchdown from 25 yards out.
Well, that was a nice run. Stitt kind of faked like he was going to step out of bounds and then cut it back across, and he's ready to keep eating.
Michael Stitt, that we said came into this game with over 1,000 yards rushing, and you can definitely see why. I'm sorry, not Michael Stitt. He had, I think it's about 830 yards rushing, but the way he's going tonight, he's going to surpass the 1,000 yards. Marshall's kick is up, and it's good. 3rd extra point for Emma Marshall. and that puts the lead out to 29-14 with 2:19 to go here in the first half.
Fairland has scored 21 unanswered points. Chesapeake went up with that the touchdown pass, went up 14-8, and Fairland has just come back and put 21 on the board very quickly.
There's that touchdown once again.
The Dragons will receive the second half kickoff, so it's important for Chesapeake to stay in this game to try to put some points on the board in the next 2 minutes.
Stitt just took advantage there of some of the over-aggressiveness of the defense, and they overran the play, so he was able to get back into the end zone for the touchdown. And Gavin Hunt will tee it up. Kickoff for Fairland now. The 29-14 lead is once again Richendaler and Todd go back deep for Chesapeake. That one's going to work its way into the end zone. Looked as though it was about to die there inside the 5, and then it squirted on into the end zone.
Just kept on going for the touchback. Chesapeake will take over at the 20-yard line. Well, you know, the Panther offense started off really strong, had a nice drive, moved the ball. Looked like that was going to continue, but now the second quarter, the second half of the second part of the second quarter has been a totally different story.
So the final 2:18 of the first half has Will Todd now taking the handoff off right tackle and defended well by Fairland. And here in the last couple of series, Fairland has defended those runs really well and not let them get outside and get those big gains out there. Most of their yardage seems like it's been coming straight up the middle. But I think that's because just the pile moving forward.
Exactly.
Making some room there. 2nd and 10. Harless coming back this way. Not much there either. Melvin Cunningham wants a timeout. It looks as though Fairland's going to get another timeout there, stopping the clock at 1:41. It's 3rd and 8 now.
The Dragons looking to try to get the ball back one more time. Can't much blame them. The Panther offense really does look a little different than it did in the first quarter. Or maybe it's the Fairland defense looks like they seem to be knowing where that ball is going a little better than they did in the first quarter with the deception that Chesapeake operates on.
They've definitely started shutting down those off-tackle runs that Chesapeake was getting some yardage on in the first quarter.
Quick timeout there as Coach Cunningham was looking to stop the clock. I believe they have another timeout left. Fairland does. If they're able to stop Chesapeake here on this play, we'll probably call another one to force the Panthers to punt. Let's see if the Panther coaches will draw up a pass play here or try to run it again.
Richendaler will tuck it and run. Comes left side, got some running room. Across the 40, got a lot of room now as he is brought down at about the 37-yard line. Gets the first down and more there, and that moves the chains big time, and a big play there by the Chesapeake quarterback, Donald Richendaler.
Donald came out to the left side there and got around to the corner, and he did the same thing, almost faked like he was going to step out of bounds and got an extra 15, 20 yards. That was a big conversion for the Peak. And good hustle there by number 6, Jordan Williams, to make the tackle from the left end position.
Todd trying to get outside, gets past a tackler and gets forward, gets some positive yardage out of that. Would look like he could have been dropped in the backfield, but he gets maybe about 4 yards on the carry.
Panthers with a little energy after that big run from Richendaler.
Under a minute to play, clock running with 48 seconds. 2nd and 7. Richendaler again going to take it, and he's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage, this time for a loss.
Brumfield shot the gap there and made a nice play. And we got a flag.
Timeout was called right before that flag came out. Fairland players seem to think that it's on Chesapeake. So an unsportsmanlike conduct is really going to move the ball back now near midfield. And Chesapeake's going to call a timeout, 35.8 seconds remaining. That is a tough penalty for them to have to take at this point.
Yeah, I didn't really see what happened there, Brian. Looked like it was after the play was over.
There it was.
As is usually the case, the second one to retaliate gets the flag. So the Brumfield with a tap on Richendoller's helmet, and Richendoller responded with the tap on the helmet. But that's what happens. So it'll bring up a 3rd and long. I think Fairland still has one more timeout, so same situation here. You have to think the Panthers are going to try to get a first down here. They can't. They're going to have a few yards to get within Brady Wilson's range. He can probably kick it from about 40 yards out, so they're going to have to get a first down before Brady would have a chance to have enough length to kick a field goal.
Richendoller goes downfield, slings it, and he's got a receiver just in and out of the hands of Harless.
Boy, I thought he caught it. Thought he was going to catch that.
It looked like it just went right through his arms as he hit the ground.
He was losing his feet when he was trying to catch it.
So the clock stops with 30 seconds to go, and it's 4th down. And Brady Wilson's going to come on to punt.
Panthers have run 3 punt plays tonight.
Almost another snap over his head. They've had some difficulty with that tonight.
And that one's going to be punted out of bounds. That's the best punt we've had from the Panthers tonight.
Kicked it away from Gavin Hunt this time. So 23 seconds. Fairland will take over. About the 22-yard line.
Well, we've seen a lot of points this first half.
Yeah, I'm not so sure we were expecting this much scoring.
And the half isn't over yet. It can see if the Dragons will receive the kickoff in the second half, so they're still trying to go get some more points right here.
Ward with the quick pass out on the flats, caught by Riley Sowards. He makes a couple of moves and spins forward to the 34. That's good for a first down. 15 seconds, clock stops as the chains move. And looks like they're going to clock it to stop it at 12.4. Nice piece of running there by Riley Sowards, his first catch of the night.
Riley had an injury at the OVC previews and was out for several weeks. The senior. Good to see Riley out on the field.
Ward going downfield for Hunt. Ball up for grabs. Almost intercepted there by Richendoller, but it falls incomplete, so 5.1 left. And it brings up 3rd down.
Coach Cunningham out there trying to get one last shot at the end zone here in the first half. Not content with the 29-14 lead. Oh, that was in and out of the hands. The thing is, he intercepts that, he could run it back the other direction.
Going to hand it off to Stitt. And he's tackled at the 40, but that takes us to the end of the first half. And a lot of scoring here in the first half, and it's been an exciting one so far. And at the end of the first half here at Fairland High School, it's the Fairland Dragons 29 and the Chesapeake Panthers 14. Halftime here at Fairland High School, and some of the first half action. You see quarterback Donald Richendaler going in for the Chesapeake score, and then a touchdown pass from Richendaler to Thomas Sentz. Chesapeake looked pretty good there at one time. Looked like they were going to move the ball at will, and then the defense started to stiffen. Here's another nice run by Richendaler, who had a couple of these. Some big gainers there, and that kept the ball moving there for Chesapeake. And eventually the Fairland defense began to stiffen and began to shut down some of those runs, especially the off-tackle runs. And Chesapeake then began to have trouble moving the football, but boy, the Fairland offense really caught fire and put some points on the board. And they lead it now 29-14, and they will have the ball in the beginning of the second half, as we see the Chesapeake band on the field right now at halftime. So our halftime score, 29-14 in favor of the Fairland Dragons. We'll be back in just a moment.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back at Fairland High School with halftime with the Fairland Dragons leading the Chesapeake Panthers 29-14 in the final game of the regular season of the Ohio Valley Conference. And again, this game for bragging rights, and not only that, but Fairland trying to put themselves in a position for potential postseason opportunity. And this is a must-win for them tonight to be able to do that. So first half action, here's some of the highlights. And Jason, that nice run there by Michael Stitt. He had a big first half there.
He sure did. Michael Stitt's the difference in this game. Is you see him running, he just, as the half wore on, he seemed to get faster and stronger, and the Dragons scored 21 unanswered points to take this 29-14 lead, and that's Brumfield on the bounce and score.
Yeah, their offense got really kicked into gear there in the second quarter.
And Stitt with 3 touchdowns. Didn't even, not even a two-hand touch on that particular play.
He had a couple of touchdowns where he was really virtually untouched going into the end zone.
He did, and you know it's been a fun game to watch. You know, the special teams have kind of set the stage as far as what would happen, you know, as far as the field position and that sort of thing. So,
Gavin Hunt's had 2 good kick returns, one on a kickoff, one on a punt, and he's put Fairland in great field position both of those times, and they've been able to capitalize on those. So they get the opening kickoff here in the second half, and be interesting to see if Chesapeake will decide to kick to him or keep the ball away from him.
Yeah, this will be a pivotal next few minutes in this game, because if Fairland's able to get it, you know, Hunt gets a good return, or they're able to punch it in the end zone right here, it could really take a lot of wind out of Chesapeake. And the opposite is true. If Chesapeake can go down and get a 3-and-out stop, then they'll have a new lease on life and be right back in this ball game if they're able to score. So we'll see what happens. That's why we play the ball game.
I think you were saying Max Ward passed 1,000 yards in passing.
Yeah, I ran into his dad on the way
for the year.
on the way back there at halftime, and so big milestone for Max.
Fairland will have the ball back at about the 45-yard line. Yeah, Ward's had a nice year. I mean, coming into tonight's game, 8 touchdown passes and only 3 interceptions. But yeah, that getting over the 1,000-yard mark, be it a rusher or be it passing yardage, that's got to be a goal for any player here on the high school level.
And in just 10 games, you know, it's not like the college game or the pros where they play a lot more ball games. So this is a good milestone. All right, here we go.
Fairland first down at the 45 here as we begin the third quarter. Stitt with the handoff, and he is met at the line of scrimmage and then loses some yardage back to the 42.
Looked like Cameron Harless came up. So we got second down 12, it looks like. So the Panthers with a little life there on that first down play.
So I'm sure they're going to try to cut down on some of the running of Michael Stitt, who really.
Right, you almost at this point you want to make somebody else beat you, you know.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ward looking, goes back, left side, Stitt. And this time again, he is met behind the line of scrimmage. And Chesapeake on those 2 consecutive plays defensively have been right on the money with those play calls and been able to shut that. Both
Cameron Harless saw that coming. The pass was complete, but it looks like they lost a yard or 2. And here, watch this. Boom.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and 14 now.
Looks like the
Ward slips, looks downfield, now heaves it up for Hunt. Hunt is out there, and it's intercepted by Richendaler. Ball just over the outstretched hands of Gavin Hunt, but right there to pull it in was Donald Richendaler. And now he'll go to his quarterback position and lead the Panthers offense.
That was the first turnover of the game, I believe, and a long pass. It is a turnover, but it's
it goes just beyond the hands of Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt didn't quite get up in the air on that one, and Richendaler was there. Good ball skills, so
Chesapeake takes over now at their own 26.
There's that stop that Chesapeake needed to try to get back in this ball game. So let's see what happens now.
Harless comes back left side, and he has tackled at least five Fairland defenders converge on him. That was Carson Nida on the carry. I thought it was Harless, but it's Nida. So no gain on the play.
We haven't seen any positive yards yet here in the second half for either team.
Richendaler keeps it, goes up the middle, spins forward to about the 33-yard line. It's going to give him about 5 or 6 yards on the carry. And that's been a pretty effective play for Chesapeake when Richendaler has just kept the ball and taken off with it. He's been able to get some good yardage on those plays.
Yeah, and went right up the middle there. The edges at the first of the game, Chesapeake was able to go around the edge and got some effective yardage, and it seems lately in the middle it's been a little more consistent.
Almost a busted play there, but Todd spins back up field and is going to get enough for the first down.
Will Todd, the senior. I think you said he started the night with, what, 800-some yards? I don't know how many he's got tonight, but 930 yards.
900.
Okay. So Will might make that 1,000 yards on the season.
Harless gets about 2 or 3 yards up near the 40. It's an important drive for Chesapeake here to try to get some points on the board, narrow this gap.
They get some points here. It turns into potentially a one-score ball game.
Todd again takes it, cuts back, has some yardage, first down, more, and now keeps moving forward and slips through a tackle, gets down to the 41-yard line.
Just about slipped through that last tackle as well. One, two. Then just about kept his balance. The flags.
Flags on the play. Chesapeake with a false start. They've had several of those tonight, and they've really hurt them at the most inopportune times, and it's going to take them back to the 46 and make it a 1st and 15.
1st and 15 is a whole lot harder to get than 1st and 10. And this is the second or third time, maybe even more than that Chesapeake's found themselves in 1st and long.
Todd again takes it off right tackle, and Fairland again defensing it pretty well as he only gets a couple of yards on the carry.
Looked like Brumfield, number 2, was able to slip through the line and come in and get Todd from behind there. Really, the Panthers again tried to run that edge and not much out there. They've been able to get up the middle. The last few successful running plays have been up the middle.
Harless comes back left side, gang tackled. Maybe a couple there, but again, Fairland not giving up much ground on those running plays, and now it's a 3rd and long as we approach the 7-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
The ball is on the Fairland 43-yard line, so Chesapeake in 4-down territory here.
Richendaler is going to tuck it in and run, but trying to find room on the sidelines. He's knocked out of bounds as he gets across the 40.
Brumfield is there to make sure he gets out of bounds.
It's going to be 4th and about 8.
All right, this is a pivotal play. Chesapeake needs, what, 7, 8 yards here. The ball goes back to Fairland, and the game changes its tone.
Richendahl looked like he was going to throw it. Now he's going to keep it, and he's getting some positive yardage. He gets across the 30. He's going to have enough for a Chesapeake first down.
Let's see what.
Looked like he initially was going to throw the ball there.
I thought he was too, and then I thought he was going to get sacked, and then he just kept on going. Here we go. He went to one way, and then kind of made something happen. Nice block there. Slips a tackle, and big 4th down conversion.
Todd cuts back, has the running lane, is going to outrun the defenders into the end zone for the Chesapeake touchdown. .25 yards on the carry there.
Looked like a little bit of trouble on the snap on that play, but Richendahl got it off to Todd, and Todd was able to hit the hole and then just kept on to the end zone for a big score. Big extra point here for Brady Wilson.
Yeah, like you said, if he gets the extra point, we've got a 1-score game. High snap, gets it down, and the kick barely,
no good.
Barely under the uprights. Snap was high, got it down, but kind of a line drive kick that went just under the upright.
You know, as the footing goes on this particular field, you know, it's the last game of the season. We had probably an inch or so of rain last night. Makes it a little tough on the kickers. And wow, that's big. That could come back to be a big point. But here's Will Todd on the run, shuffling through the line, gets a nice block there by number 65. I believe that was 65. Nick Burns with the big block to set Will Todd for the touchdown.
6:25 left on the clock here in the third quarter. Chesapeake takes the advantage of their opportunity to get with the football to take it downfield, get 6 points on the board, draws them back to within 9. That missed extra point, those sometimes have a way to come back and haunt you a little bit later on, but right now they're still in this ball game.
Yeah, the missed extra point by Chesapeake and the 2-point conversion that Fairland made on the first touchdown is really the difference in this being a 1-score versus a 2-score game. Gonna have to wonder if Chesapeake might try an onside kick here. Although their defense was able to hold the last time.
I'm going to see if they kick it away from Gavin Hunt.
It would be recommended to do that. They've kicked it over there to the right side to Steeler Leap the last couple of kickoffs.
It's taken short at the 30-yard line. Coming down the sidelines with it there is trying to see if that Jordan.
Brennan West,
Brennan West.
Number 5. He's got great socks. Check out those socks he's got on there.
So they'll have it just across the 40-yard line. Again, both these teams have been pretty much in good field position the entire game, except the one time Chesapeake was backed up inside their 5.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good view of the action right here in the middle of the field most of the game.
Going back to Stitt, he is met behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2.
Like, who was that, Luke Shields or Justice Hutchison's kind of stuffed up the hole, and Carson Nida was able to get Stitt before he got the line of scrimmage. Oh.
Just under 6 minutes now to go in the quarter. Ward gets the snap, looking. Has his receiver out there, which is Brennan West with the reception. And immediately brought down, so gets a couple of yards back on it, but it's going to be 3rd and 9 now.
That was a very well defended play there by Will Todd. Made a nice open field tackle. Brings up a 3rd and long. There's Max Ward out the west. Todd was right there.
Chesapeake has been much more aggressive on those passes out in the flat, and they've been shutting down the run. So a big opportunity for them to get a stop right here. 5 minutes to go in the quarter. And Ward now with the snap under rush, gets it out of there in the flat. And Brumfield with the reception, and he is upended as he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard, but another good defensive play by the Chesapeake defense will bring up 4th down for
this
the
is a
Fairland
similar
Dragons.
play that was run in the first half for a touchdown and a big yardage play, but the Panthers have defended it well the last couple of times that Fairland has tried to run that play. And some dangerous return men back for Chesapeake as
Hunt gets the kick, caught back on the 35-yard line by Harless, and he gets about 8 yards on the return, takes it out to about the 44-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will have it 1st and 10, 4:15 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and a chance for Chesapeake to put some points on the board here and continue. The offense was really effective there on their other drive that they had here as we opened the 2nd half.
yeah, the Panther offense has come out here in the 2nd half, able to move the ball. The Dragons offense has stalled twice now. Then the Panther defense has been pretty strong to help make that happen. So let's see what happens here on this 2nd possession, and we get a flag.
Another false start. I think that's about 4 of those that have been called on the Chesapeake
It seems like it's been on 1st down a lot too.
So once again, they start at 1st and 15. Harless fighting for yards along left tackle, but maybe gets a yard.
Stuffed in there by Kobe Newman, and trying to see who else. Number 24, Brian Defoe in there on the tackle. 2nd down and long now.
Under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. And another
flag.
penalty flag, and I think we've got a motion penalty once again. And Chesapeake just getting plagued with those penalties. It keeps just moving them back instead of forward and making things a little bit harder. It's going to make it for a 2nd and 19 now.
Last time the Panthers got in this situation, they were a little further on the Fairland side of the field. We're in 4-down territory, and we're able to convert on 4th down. This time it'd be a little risky to run that on 4th down, so they really only have about 2 downs to get these 19 yards.
Once again, Richendaler decides to take it, keep it himself, and he breaks a couple of tackles and almost gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 44. So a nice gain for Richendaler. That'll make it 3rd and 10 now. It's a little more manageable at this point.
Richendaler, Brumfield just about gets him right there, but finally wrapped up by West and a couple other Dragons. Here we go, 3rd down.
Low snap. Richendaler picks it up. Now goes downfield and ball falls incomplete. I think the receiver went one way, ball went the other, but it's going to bring up 4th down and 11 now.
Decision time here for Chesapeake. Their defense has been pretty strong here in the second half, so looks like they're going to try to punt it.
.238 to go. Third quarter.
Just check my phone. It's down to 37 degrees outside right now.
Hunt comes up, takes it on the bounce, makes a couple of moves, gets a nice run back. Penalty flags flying as Hunt gets back across the 40-yard line.
Like a couple of flags. Let's see if we can see some initial indication.
See if that happens to be a block in the back, maybe.
Personal foul, 15-yard penalty. See if we can see it on the replay, what happened. Perfect hop as Gavin Hunt was there to grab it. Looked like a block against a defenseless player, maybe. That may have been what the penalty was, I'm not sure.
Well, it moves the ball back to the 26-yard line, so that's where Fairland will start here with 2:27 to go, third quarter, and the lead of 29-20. Hand off to Stitt this time. Surges forward for about 8.
Justice Hutchison and number 32, Marcus Burnside, in on the tackle. Justice, a sophomore, Burnside, a freshman.
Brumfield coming around right in, cuts back, has the first down and more as he gets up across the 40 to the 42.
Like number 20, Luke Shields, in on the tackle. Possibly Sense and Richendaler as well. Brumfield runs hard. He's bringing a load with him when he running too. Looks like a little busted play.
Yeah, just looked around to hand the ball off. Nobody there. Penalty flag is down. Both running backs went opposite directions, and Ward was kind of left to take it himself. It's
he kind of looked around like, where'd everybody go? And he just took off running.
So holding penalty against Fairland. Take it back to the 31.
The Dragons haven't had too many penalties, but that one right there is pretty significant.
Really didn't see a whole lot of penalties in the first half, but certainly have seen them here in the third quarter. 1st and 20. Ward hands it off to Brumfield. Going to give him 5.
The Panthers trying to strip the ball from Brumfield. JD is stout. Nida wasn't able to get it away from him, but, you know, a turnover could be the difference in the ball game here in the second half.
Ward looks for Sowards out in the flat, overthrown a little bit, and ball falls incomplete.
Like Cameron Harless in on the pass coverage there.
Michael Stitt came off the field a little earlier limping, and he has been on the sideline, so he's not been in the backfield for Fairland. He's still standing on the sideline, but yeah, he came off a few plays ago and didn't look like anything serious, but looked like he had a limp to get off the field, and so he is yet to return. Tevin Taylor has been in the backfield now for Fairland, and it's 3rd and 17. 46 seconds to go in the quarter. Ward got his receivers out, goes down the middle, and it's almost intercepted by Thomas Sense.
Sense had a good read on that one.
The ball was thrown into some traffic there, and Sense almost came up with that, and he had some room in front of him to bring that ball back a little bit. But
see Ward with plenty of time. Maybe Sowers got his hand right in there just enough to break it up. As the Dragons will be forced to punt.
Now it's fourth down, 41 seconds to go.
Their third punt here in the third quarter. Or no, I tracked that. Second punt, they had an interception.
Hunt looked like he was going to take it and go with it, but
it was
Todd's
the punt option. The run punt option.
It was Harless. I think he thought about getting it, just going to let it bounce, and goes back to the 29-yard line. So with 29.6 left, 29.6 to go, Chesapeake will have it. And again, they've made a game of it here in the second half. Defensively, they've shut down Fairland for the entire third quarter. They really haven't been able to get anything going on offense, and Chesapeake's offense is kind of beginning to pick up a little bit of steam here as Will Todd takes the pitch, goes right side, got running room, breaks a tackle, got a couple of runners to beat, and he gets knocked out of bounds, but he's into Fairland territory as he goes across midfield. I think they're going to mark it down at about the 48-yard line of Fairland.
Well, I thought he was going to get tackled in the backfield there, but Will Todd just kept on moving those legs and was able to turn the corner and take something that was nothing and turn it into something.
Harless this time comes back left side, pushing the pile forward, still not going down, finally gets across the 40, picks up about 9 yards on the carry.
After that gain by Todd, you see the line seemed like it had a little more enthusiasm there from Chesapeake as the line of scrimmage moved very quickly.
That takes us to the end of the third quarter right there, and 3 quarters of play. Fairland Dragons maintain their lead, but Chesapeake now picking up some momentum. Fairland leads it 29-20. We'll be back in just a moment. Back for the start of the fourth quarter here at Fairland High School, and it is 2nd and 10 as action resumes. Chesapeake with the football, and that run should give them enough. It's going to move the chain, so it's going to be a first down. Going to put the ball at the Fairland 37-yard line. Will Todd with the carry almost breaks a couple of tackles and gets away, but gets it down to the 32, about 5 yards on the carry.
Will Todd had a big run there at the end of the third quarter. Nice run there on first down. Panthers appear to be threatening again.
Harless now on the carry, comes left side. Another nice gain down about a yard short of the first down. Going to bring up third and about 1.
You know, the second half has looked a lot different than the second quarter did, as Chesapeake's really come out and dominated so far.
Now coming back the other way.
Let's see where the spot is.
Harless takes it. Really, they've just run left, right, yeah. And just kept pounding it in there, and they're starting to get positive yardage now.
First down.
26-yard line.
This is about the spot on the field that Chesapeake will run Richendaler on the fake. We saw that earlier in the first half. Oh, what do you know? Oh, they were there ready.
Goes off left side, and he is smothered as he tries to get outside. Can't do it, and he's dropped for a loss.
Blaine Cremines on the tackle. He was expectant. There's the fake. Oh, and he ran outside of the if he had ran behind number 54 instead of around him, he might have had a hole. Second down 10. A lot of times that play works for Chesapeake when the quarterback fakes it and then runs it straight back up the middle instead of out to the side.
Harless takes it down for enough for another first down.
That was a hard run by Harless. The Panthers kind of picking up the pace.
Quickly line up, 1st and 10. Harless gets it, drops the football. It's loose, and he falls on it. And that could have been a disastrous play there for Chesapeake, but they hang on to possession.
Got an injured player, it looks like. That's Cremines. Got a flat tire there, it looks like. Harless let that ball get into his shoulder pads there on his chest and wasn't able to hold on to it.
9 minutes to go. And with the loss, it's going to take it back make it about 2nd and 15. Ball at the 17-yard line. Harless now takes it again. Left side, breaks a tackle. He's loose, still breaking a tackle.
Looks like a face mask there. No flag. Sorry about that.
Brought down on the far side, but I don't know.
Or horse collar. Something didn't look right on that, but
yeah, I thought I saw a flag come down, but maybe not. I don't know.
Okay, that's what I did see. Okay, that camera is all right there. You got a guy running towards the end zone. You're just grabbing anything you can, you know. Looks like it'll be 1st down and goal. Ball at the 3-yard line.
Chesapeake quickly hurrying up to the line of scrimmage. They snap the football. They hand it off. Going inside, he slipped and fell. Todd saw that goal line, and he slipped and fell as he tried to cut back.
Yep. Sowards and Brumfield were there. Todd needs a he's kind of pointing in his cleats there. When he picked his foot up there, you can see the mud globbed all in the middle of his shoe.
2nd and goal. Harless this time tries to go left side, pushing the pile forward, and he's in for the touchdown. Chesapeake with their 2nd score of the half. Now they've drawn to within 3 with 8:02 to play.
Let's see if the Panthers will go for 2 or try to go ahead and kick the extra point. Missed the extra point after the last touchdown.
Brady Wilson's on to kick it.
Okay, I see Brady now. Well, both teams have scored 4 touchdowns. The extra points are the difference right now.
Thomas Sense to hold. Wilson to kick. Hold is down. He slips and falls, but he's able to boot it through. And in spite of it, gets the extra point. So with 8:02 to go in the ball game, Fairland's lead now is down to 29-27.
Well, here we go. It's Chesapeake and Fairland. It's never over till it's over.
So big turn of events here in the second half. Is Chesapeake defensively, they have kept Fairland off the board, actually just kept them from moving the ball really at all. And their offense now is beginning to click. And here's that score once again.
Number 70, Hunter Blackburn leading the way, and Cameron just hitched his saddle to him and walked across the line. The Panthers lining up to kick. Gavin Hunt has had an extremely good game back there as the return man for the Dragons, and rubbing his hands together, anxiously awaiting this kick to come his way.
This time they go ahead and kick it. Hunt will take it back on his 10-yard line. Trying to outrun his tackler, but he can't. So a good stop there by Nick Ferguson. Good open field tackle. And Ferguson, he takes him down at about the 31-yard line.
Ferguson had the angle there on Hunt and just sold out and grabbed him by the ankles and made a great play.
So we at 7:52 remaining now. Here's that return once again.
Not just tackle.
Textbook tackle there.
I noticed Stitt coming to the sidelines for the Dragons. That's probably a big reason their offense has not been nearly as effective in the second half as the first.
He's been limping, and I don't know if he's going to be back in the ball game tonight.
We hate to see that.
Hand off to Brumfield, who now is getting the bulk of the work with Stitt being on the sidelines.
Stitt scored 3 touchdowns in the first half and hasn't seen much action here in the second half.
It's a pickup of about 4 yards out to the 35.
Big series here for the Dragons. They need to convert a couple of first downs and probably need to score with the way the Panthers offenses look so far here in the second half. They need to run a lot of time off the clock and punch it in the end zone.
Brumfield with the carry, and this time not a lot of room to run, actually loses a yard.
Now had the snap was a little low, and
so now
the Panthers
it's third
were
down.
in on the defense. Third down. Big third down here for the Dragons.
6:45 to play. Chesapeake really wanting to get the ball back and have some time to be able to continue. Their offense has just been outstanding here in the second half. Ward now with the quick throw, gets it back to Sowards. Sowards now with nowhere to go, and he is going to be taken down well behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. Big play for the Chesapeake defense.
Dakota Hess, the 365-pounder out in the flat making a play. I thought he was going to mash him there, and
well, you want to run away from that guy.
I tell you what, I've seen Dakota play a lot of football. That's the fastest I've ever seen him go. That was a great play by the senior Panther lineman, and that was a big play at a big time.
Under 6 minutes to go now, and Fairland now is going to have to punt it back to Chesapeake. Hunt is going to take it. He's going to run it. And he is not going to make it. He is going to come far short of the first down. So not necessarily a good decision. I don't know if that was a design play or if he was able to just see something and thought maybe he could make it.
We've kind of seen Gavin do that before. I was kind of joking earlier, is the run punt option, but I'm not so sure that it isn't a run punt option. He's kind of looking, then he tucks it in, and there was 3 or 4 Panthers who had the angle. That was a long way to go.
He did have the option, I believe, whether he felt like he could make it. But so the Panthers now with the ball in great field position as they have it inside the 30. About a 4-yard gain there on first down, make it 2nd and 6. Coming up on 5 minutes to play. Pitch goes back to Will Todd, and he's going to take it down to the 20-yard line. That's should be enough for a first down, and it is. Chains will move.
Well, the Panthers just seem to have the energy and the momentum right now, and the Dragons are a little bit on their back foot trying to hold it. But, you know, with this, what you see really is the endurance of the Chesapeake running backs, you know, where they've been able to spread it out to different guys. Seem to have a little more energy here in the second half.
Todd tries it again. He's going to fight for a couple of yards. Helmet comes off.
Lost a helmet.
I think really no gain on the play.
Beautiful head of hair there on Will Todd. Look at that. Not sure what happened there, but believe it or not, when he was a little kid, his hair was a lot longer than that. So, all right, here we go. 1st and 10. What's going on? Something on the field, maybe? Maybe that was part of the helmet. Maybe it was part of Todd's helmet that was there on the field. They were throwing to the sideline.
2nd and 10 from the 20. Harless takes the handoff, goes left tackle, plows forward, and he's going to be see a little bit of activity going on in the secondary. Harless is going to get about, see where they mark it down yet, but probably gets about 3 or 4 yards on that carry. Give him 3.
Panther running backs are running hard. Even after contact, they're getting an extra couple of yards, it seems like.
3rd down as we had under 4 minutes to play. Muffed handoff there, and Richendoller's going to pick it up and try to get something out of it.
He's got some space.
He's got actually some room out there. It's going to cut back and take it into the end zone, and Chesapeake now has the lead on a broken play.
We got a flag. We got a flag and an injured player. Looks like after the play, but I think that's going to be a touchdown. That touchdown's going to stick.
That looked like that had disaster written all over it, and Richendoller was able to get it in the end zone.
You know, that's a couple of times tonight he just has made some plays. We got flags down there. I'm not sure if it was before or after the touchdown. Let's see. Touchdown is good.
Personal foul on Fairland, so the touchdown will stand. The lead is now 33-29. So interesting to see if they're going to go for 2 to try to make this 6-point
You think they'd
lead.
have to. Because really an extra, you know, the 1 point really won't make that much of a difference. And the Panthers, with their offense, the way it's looked here in the second half, even when it's bad, it's turned out good. You know, that looked like it was a game-ending possible fumble that turned into 6 points. You know, because if Fairland recovers there, all they've got to do is run out the clock. And here we go.
So they're going to go for 2. Todd takes the snap. Richendoller, rather, takes the snap, comes left, makes a couple of moves and loses his footing.
Down.
Just could not stay on his feet. Don't know that he would have made it or not, but he doesn't get into the end zone for the extra point. So 33-29 with 3:45 to go.
Here's the play of the game so far. Look at this. How did he get around that corner? Kind of looked like a hockey match with everybody sliding around as the field has gotten a little slickier and everybody's cleats have gotten a little more full of mud. The footing looks a little less sure compared to where it was earlier in the game.
Well, now the next possession by Fairland, they have really not been able to get much going at all here in the second half, and this is going to be crucial because this is going to be it for them. Tonight's game being produced by the Electronic Media Department at Ohio University Southern. Final game of the regular season here in the OVC, and in playoffs just around the corner. And after the penalty, Brady Wilson will be kicking off from the Fairland 45-yard line.
Brady Wilson should be able to kick this into the end zone if he gets a hold of it.
So, and he does. So it'll come out to the 20. 3:45 now for Fairland to see if they can take it downfield. They have to get the ball in the end zone, trailing by 4.
Brian, we have seen a great ball game here tonight so far.
And we see Michael Stitt coming back into the game for Fairland.
He is.
So we've noticed a real difference with him being out of the ball game.
Oh yeah, he was a huge part of the first half, and he was in on defense there on that last play for. That was the score, but let's see what happens here. Fairland can score quickly. They can throw the ball.
Hand off to Stitt, coming up left side, cuts back, makes a few moves, nice run, and that's enough for a first down out to the 32, 12-yard gain.
No quit at neither team, really. Big first down run. Not sure how many first downs the Dragons have had here in the second half, but you could count them on one hand.
Stitt does a really good job of following his blockers and looking for the seams and making some positive yardage there.
And when he hits the seams, he hits them fast and hard.
3:20 to go, first down. Stitt, once again, takes the handoff, comes left side, breaks some tackles, but can't break enough of them as he's brought down after about a 2-yard gain.
R.J. Ward in on that tackle. Carson Knight met him first, but R.J. put him down, 2nd and 9.
Under 3 minutes to play now. Ward looked like he was going to hand it off, but nobody there. He kept it, moved forward, but looked like almost like a busted play there.
It did. Marcus Burnside in there for the Panthers as the Dragons have a long 3rd and 10. The clock is rolling.
Clock running with 2:20 to go. Time running out on Fairland, and Ward with the snap, rolling right, looking downfield, has a receiver out there. And did he catch it? Did he hit the ground? Yes, he said it was complete. A catch. Gavin Hunt on the reception out at the 44-yard line. And that's enough for a Fairland first down. Clock stops at 1:56.
That was a crucial first down. Great throw and catch.
Actually, the clock's still running. It should be stopped with the chains moving, but it did not. So here we go again. This time Brumfield takes it down the left side. Tripped up. Nice tackle there by Cameron Harless. Otherwise, Brumfield's going to get a chunk of yardage as he comes around the 50-yard line. So
Harless just sold out and dove, and he was either going to catch him or keep on running for a long run. The hurry-up offense here is
2nd down and 5 with 1:17 to play. Stitt takes it. Cuts back, and it's going to be really close to the first down, but I think it's going to be a bit short.
Depends on where they mark it. Looked like he might have been short, but, it's going to be close. Oh, he moved it an extra inch or two.
And they're going to stop the clock with 1 minute to go, and they're going to measure, put it down at around the 46-yard line.
Really, it's with 1 minute to go, 3rd down, it's not that the first down really isn't the biggest issue here for either team. It's whether or not the Dragons can get into the end zone, as it's a field goal doesn't do Fairland any good at this point. So they've got to get it into the end zone.
He's going to be short, I believe.
Oh boy.
So just a little bit short. We're exactly at 1 minute to play. Clock will start when they put the ball back in play again.
Here's a replay. Watch this tackle here. Donald Richendaler came in and upended Stitt. Get the chain set over there. Maybe. There we go.
Yeah,
the chains
okay,
got a little
there,
wrinkled.
Now the clock is running.
Here we go.
Handoff straight up the middle. First down. Gets it to the 42-yard line, and now there's a timeout. Fairland will stop the clock.
Timeout.
55.8 seconds to play.
See Stitz limping a little bit there as he's coming off the field.
Trying to give it all he can here in the last few moments. Here's that run again.
I tell you what, both teams have really left it all out on the field. I mean, they've played hard the entire night. You know, I didn't know what was going to happen here in the second half. There in the second quarter, the Dragons just scored 21 unanswered points. It was Chesapeake 14, Fairland 8. And, you know, Dragons scored 3 straight touchdowns and looked like they were going to march into halftime, come out and get the ball here in the second half. And, you know, the Panthers showed up here in the second half. They shut down the Dragon offense and have been able to punch the ball into the end zone for 19 straight points for them. So here we go, a minute to go. This is what you play for.
Pass out in the flat. Hunt takes it, cuts back in, and he trips and falls as he gets across the 40. Not enough for the first down. It's at the 36. Clock still running with 45 seconds. Second down. Clock at under 40 seconds now. And we've got a penalty flag.
Yeah, they lined up in the wrong spot.
So we got a Fairland player lining up off sides. That's going to back them up 5. Clock at 37.3.
All right, here we go.
Ward going over the middle, has Sowards. He catches it, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. First down. Clock will stop as the chains move.
What
Clock
a clutch
stops
throw
at
and pass,
seconds.
or throw and catch by Max Ward and Riley Sowards. Ward had plenty of time, sits back in the pocket with a nice pass right over the middle. Look at that.
So now another timeout.
I tell you what, it's a heck of a ball game. How much time we got left?
27
here?
seconds
Ooh.
left.
First and 10. Will the Dragons try 4 shots into the end zone, or will they try to get something underneath
forced to their
try
advantage?
to run it in?
You know, Fairland used to throwing the football, so this is not really out of character for them.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice pass over the middle, though.
That's great camera work, by the way. That's a nice shot. You know, the thing is you know, the Dragons have such shifty receivers, they could throw one into the flat and anything could happen there, so.
Ward going down. He's got his receiver. Hunt makes the catch. Gavin Hunt into the end zone for the touchdown. 25 yards.
Unbelievable.
Max Ward to Gavin Hunt for the Fairland touchdown, and the Dragons now take the lead.
Max Ward with that back shoulder pass. Again, the footing, you know, everybody knew where that ball was going on the offense. Defense didn't, and Gavin Hunt was able to come in, catch the ball, and circle around and get in the end zone with how many seconds are left?
19 seconds
19
left
seconds on the clock.
Impressive drive by Fairland as they move the ball down the field, get the go-ahead score. And the extra point attempt is up and good by Emma Marshall. And it's now a 3-point lead.
What a ball game. I tell you what, this game last year came down to the very last play. And looks like it's going to do it again this year. Look at this play.
It looks like this was a bit underthrown, but really it ended up being good.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he didn't underthrow it on purpose.
Hunt was able to come back and get it, make the move, and get into the end zone.
Wow. Well, you got your $5 worth tonight. Look at this, 36-33, both teams with 5 touchdowns, I guess. Try to do the math real quick. And the extra points making the difference as far as the score goes. Yep. Slip and slide there on the defense.
Yeah, and actually where he came back for the ball, the defender lost his footing.
He lost his footing there, didn't he?
Which ended up being a positive there for Hunt to get into the end zone. So now, with 19 seconds left,
here's the interesting thing.
See what happens here.
Is the Panthers do have a field goal kicker. Wilson can kick his, he can, I've seen him kick 40-yarders before in warm-ups, and, the footing out here is not quite as easy as it is on the AstroTurf, so that's always going to be a factor. So, it is conceivable if the Panthers are able to get into field goal range, they do have that potential.
Yeah, he slipped and fell on one of his extra points down there, so I'm sure that's going to make things more difficult. But we'll see what kind of field position that Chesapeake can end up with here.
Kind of wonder if they'll kick it deep, Fairland, or will they, to risk the return? You got Richendaler and Harless in the back who can return a kick. Or do you kick it out of bounds and see what the offense can do? I don't know. The first points Fairland scored in the second half, the first time their offense has really come alive, is when they needed it.
Squib kick. And loose on the field and recovered by Chesapeake at the 39, so that's where they'll start. 18 seconds now.
Panthers have 2 timeouts or 3? I was trying to remember how many they have.
Let's see where they put it down at the 38-yard line.
Cameron Harless split out to the right here.
Richendaler over the middle.
It's going to be
intercepted. Tevin Taylor with the interception, and that's going to seal it for the Fairland Dragons with 12 seconds to go.
Wow. The same exact thing happened last year at this game. Fairland had an interception right at the last of the contest.
He was trying to get the ball downfield to try to pick up a big chunk of yardage, and had several receivers downfield, but Taylor's there for the interception. Fairland now can just kneel and run out the clock.
I tell you what, this is a great high school football game right here. 2 rival schools. They've been playing football against each other for 70 years almost. And now I think the tally's 35-33 as far as the number of wins. It's almost even. They will talk about this football game for a long time in Proctorville and Chesapeake.
So Fairland's going to win
Great game.
They go to 6-4 on the year, conclude their season 4-3 in the OVC. Chesapeake will fall to 4-6 and 2-5 in the OVC. But well, we saw Chesapeake come from behind, take the lead, and look as though they were just completely take the game over. And then all of a sudden things changed right at the very end of the game. And
yeah, the Dragon offense came alive. Here's some highlights. The Dragons dominated the first half, and really the Panthers dominated the second half, all but the last minute, really about 40 seconds there that the Dragon offense came alive. And
Michael Stitt had a big game, and they really suffered when he went to the sideline. But he was the bulk of their offense in the first half. J.D. Brumfield here with a touchdown. At that point, Fairland looked like they were pretty much going to run away with it.
Here's Stitt again.
we see one of the touchdown passes, and this one.
There it is. This is
the
the game winner right here. A 25-yard touchdown pass for the game winner.
And I
I'll
think
tell you
there
what.
were 19 seconds on the clock when that happened. And this, I think, the final interception of the ball game, and that sealed it. And that was the end of it. So once again, final score, Fairland 36, Chesapeake 33. I'm Brian Correa along with Jason Stevens saying good night, and this game has been a production of the Electronic Media Department at Ohio University Southern.